You've done it again. You've stumbled into the basement of the internet, the sub-basement of the internet, deep in the bowels of a nondescript bungalow in London, Ontario, Canada, the armpit of Canada. Welcome. Well, it's finally happened. I finally hit 1,000 subscribers. Oh my God, my life is complete. Yeah, it only took me like 11 years and countless thousands of hours of work, but somehow, with a little help from my friends, I have managed to reach this enormous barrier that has been staring at me for years. I'm there. Thanks to Sam Mitchell at Collapse Chronicle. Thanks to Sandy at Environmental Coffee House. Thanks to all the people out there who have continued to stay with the channel for all these years, through the pit, through the mud, dragged, holding on, barely scraping by, but still managing to watch Vegematic Deluxe every time it comes on. I should have been happier. I hit 1,000 subscribers and I thought, this is my time to celebrate. So I celebrated for about 5 minutes, and then I went, well, what difference does it really make in my life? Well, I met some new people, and welcome to hell, the Vegematic Deluxe channel. No, I don't mean to be disparaging and say it's hell. It's just that it's not the happiest place on earth. It's no Disneyland. Speaking of Disneyland, aren't there workers facing starvation wages again? Well, not the happiest place. Welcome to utopia. It looks like banking is not safe. Gee, the underpinnings of capitalism are rotting away, and it's really quite frightening, isn't it? Credit Suisse looks like they're in trouble after 2 banks in the US are in trouble. These things could spread really, really quickly. And hey, it's okay though. They'll get bailed out.
The loon is also called the Great Northern Diver.
Anyway, it's been quite the week. Yes, here in Canada, in the land of the midnight sun and the beaver and the maple syrup flowing through the streets, we have big trouble. Big trouble. And man, big fat trouble in Doug Ford, the Premier of Ontario. Yeah, this guy has just taken a hatchet to our healthcare system. He's hitting it over and over and privatizing it because it's very popular, and he doesn't care because he's this big, large man from Toronto. And I don't know, Rob Ford became the most famous crack addict, and he was mayor of Toronto. So, well, I mean, I guess there's this family tradition of unsavory characters running things in Ontario.
A place to stand, a place to grow, Ontario.
Yes, Ontario, the place where you can sweat in the summer and freeze your ass off in the winter. Yes, it's the most populous province in Canada, and it's all along the US border, everywhere. So that's just ripe for the picking in case the Republicans don't want to attack Mexico and choose Canada instead. We'd be a much softer target, I guess. Until they got up here, and then we got, hey, have a joint, eh? Speaking of dreadful things going on in the land of the beaver and the maple syrup, it's frightening. The price of beer, the taxes on beer. Now, the taxes in Canada on alcohol are probably the highest in the world. It's already taxed at over 50%, but that's not enough because people's health, and they don't want people to drink beer because it's bad for your health. And so there's new health recommendations of 2 drinks per week. That's it, 2 drinks. And to ensure that you only have 2 drinks, They will bankrupt you if you have any more. So don't have any more than 2. That's our ration for the good, pure, upstanding people of the Great White North. Do I seem tense? Do I seem gruff? Do I irritate you somehow? Well, I don't mean to. It's just that when you've lived as long as I have, you've seen every scam going. And you notice that the scams keep growing and growing and growing. I mean, I can't even answer the phone because it's always some dude trying to scam me, right? And it just goes on and on every single day. Your windows, they are not working. Your windows don't work. I say, okay, just wait here a minute. And I go and leave it for about 15 minutes and come back and say, no, they open and close just fine. But wait, sir. Man, these guys, it's pathetic that people in third world countries are made to operate this way, desperate situations, and so they become involved in all kinds of nasty things. Gee, that's what people here do too. I mean, when people don't have the opportunities that everybody should have to develop their own talents, to nurture people as they grow, not to try and fit them into some corporate box, or even worse, being another internet addict. I'm speaking to you out there. Yeah, we're all guilty of that too, right? And our attention spans just keep getting shorter and shorter, and you wonder why. And it doesn't. Everything's just flashing lights now, and it's like, see, look, flashing lights. It's hypnotizing in a sense, but it's also, it sucks the life out of you. You can be completely sucked into the internet without even realizing it, and your body is no longer yours anymore, and you're inside this little thing, and as you're traveling around the internet and you don't realize that all the while you're being programmed and your information sold. Well, I guess everybody knows, but they don't give a shit anymore, right? It's just like, okay, well, here, yeah, have fun, man, whatever you want to do. Yes, I've been thinking about all the disastrous things that are going on and thinking it's time to joyously celebrate the end of civilization, because we've had a good run, we've screwed things up. Now let's just pay the consequences, shall we? Yeah, keep pumping that fuel. Keep pumping that fuel. Keep pumping it. Keep vacuuming the oceans and keep using plastics and increase the use of plastics. Everywhere you look is signs of spring. It's bloody cold this year in spring, but it was warm in January and February, and we got to March, and now I'm freezing my ass off again, burning more fossil fuels because I have a hookup to Enbridge. Oh, Enbridge, yes, the pipeline people, the ones that are always looking out for our energy future. We're all doomed. Doomed, I tells you. What's gotten better? Oh, the tubular gods sent me a congratulatory letter for hitting 1,000, and I'm gonna print it out and get it framed and put it on my wall. Yeah, thanks a lot. Knew that buying equipment over the years and spending thousands of hours and everything was good for something. Yeah, I'll put a nice frame around it. Shoot darts at it. That's what I'm gonna do. I keep having dreams, weird dreams. You ever have a dream where everything's so colorful and realistic that you're sure that you've crossed over into the realm of the unconscious and everything looks like a Salvador Dali painting? Well, I had one of those dreams, and it haunts me. And what it was I had returned to my native city of Montreal, and I was dressed in rags, and it was this bathed in this golden glow, but it was all ruins, complete ruins. And I, for some reason, looked down, and there was this enormous hole, and it was filled with water, but it had ledges all the way down. And at the bottom, underneath the water, was a locomotive. So any of you that can interpret dreams out there, or think you have an idea of what it means. And I had to go and crawl down onto one of these ledges to have this bed of rags to lie in and sleep. And then I woke up and I went, wow, I should paint that. So I think my next project, if I ever get my ass in gear enough, is to paint that dream. It's surrealistic and scary at the same time, and it could, well, I guess painting ruins, and the ruins of somewhere you knew, maybe that's somehow going that everything it did in life has been ruins. It's left in ruins. It's falling apart. That could be one interpretation. Or could just mean nothing. Dreams are confusing. And you ever notice in dreams that you dream about being a place from your past, but it doesn't look the same. It never looks the same. It's always a different configuration of the rooms, and everywhere you look, it's this weird kind of wavy, sort of fuzzy thing. And then you wake up and think, what the hell was that all about? Well, I keep wondering what the hell my dreams are all about. For years, I didn't remember a single one of them. I'd wake up and go, I know I was dreaming, but I don't know what I was dreaming about. But you think I could have some decent dreams. No, my dreams are filled with ruin and despair, and so you're definitely listening to someone with a very healthy psyche right here. I really, really do appreciate all of you coming over here. And as usual, I'm trying to keep up with the comments, and I'm trying to answer them all individually. But when I become a big tubular star, I'm not making any promises. So, I don't know. Maybe I should get some merch or something. T-shirts made up or something, I don't know. I'm too old for that crap. And I'm just trying to warn all you youngins out there that life is gonna suck worse for you than it did for me, and it sucked really bad for me. Sooner or later, everything comes back at you. It's all karma. You throw out something and it washes back up on the shore, and then clogs and it goes on and on. So this is Veg's Law number 2. Eventually, given enough time, everything comes back to bite you on the ass. Everything. It's the law of the universe. And the universe is unfolding, and we're only a tiny little dot out of millions of galaxies and planets and worlds of wonder. And yet we think that we're smart. Yeah. Well, that's all I've got for you. No more nattering on, complaining, whining, all the things that you've come to expect on the Vegematic Deluxe channel. So thanks, leave your comments below, and I'll spend all day tomorrow answering them as best I can. Now, some of them are so confusing that I just go, well, I don't know what you're trying to say. So clear, concise, that's what I like. Something that I don't have to, it's not like a cryptic puzzle or something that I have to figure out. My brain cells have been diminished such over the years that those sort of things escape me. A lot of things escape me. My sanity escaped me years ago. However, I'm just crazy enough to make another video. So thanks, and see you next week. Except I might fall down a steep embankment or something, and you'll never see me again. Or I could, most likely I think I'll be back next week, but none of us can say, can we? That's the scary thing about life. So live your life, enjoy your life, get everything you can out of it. Squeeze every bit of gusto you can find out of it. Squeeze all the resources you can manage out of it. And just keep buying things and getting more and more and more expensive things. And then you can buy a private island and you can fly all your stuff over to the private island, and then you can set up an encampment there and you can take over the world. But I digress. Okay, see you next week. Remember, only you can prevent fascism.